So welcome to my channel Fully Explain MCQ. Today we will see the laws of chemical combination. There are 5 laws of chemical combination. This is a laws of chemical combination, and in that chemical combination there are the 5 laws of chemical combination. So there are 5 laws of chemical combination. So number 1 law. First law is law of conservation of mass. This is first law. Law of conservation of mass, this is the first law, and this is given by Anthony Lavoisier. This law is given by Anthony Lavoisier. Now second law. Second law is law of definite proportion. Law of definite proportion. This law is given by Joseph Proust. This is the second law of chemical combination. Now third law. Third law is law of multiple proportion. Law of multiple proportion. This is a third law. Multiple proportion. Okay. Now fourth law. Fourth law is Gay-Lussac law of gaseous volume. You can say law of gaseous volume. This law is given by Gay-Lussac. Okay. Now fifth law. Fifth law is Avogadro law. Avogadro law. So in this way, there are 5 laws in laws of chemical combination. First law is law of conservation of the mass. Second law of definite proportion. Third is a law of multiple proportion. Fourth is law of gaseous volume given by Gay-Lussac, and fourth is Avogadro law. Now one by one we will see this law and its definition. Now first law of conservation of mass. It is a conservation of mass. It states that matter cannot be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. This law is a careful observation by the Anthony Lavoisier, where he have done many experiments of combustion, and on the basis of that observation he given the law, that is matter cannot be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. For example, if we have a reaction that is H2 plus O2 gives H2O. This is a one reaction. Now we have to balance this reaction. By balancing this reaction, we have to only put 2, where 2 is a coefficient. Okay, coefficient of the reaction. It is also called stoichiometric coefficient. Now we have to balance this reaction. Here is a 2 of H2, 2 of H2, 2 O2, now 2 O2. Okay, this is a balanced reaction. As per this law of conservation of mass, mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Now you have to say mass. What is the mass here? Atomic mass of H is 1. So total mass will be 1 into 2, 2, and here are 2. So 4 gram. Okay. Here, what is atomic mass of oxygen? That is 16. So 16 into 2, 32 gram. So molar mass is 32 gram. Here total molar mass is 4 gram. So total mass is 32 plus 6, 36 gram. Okay. Now check here. What is the molecular mass of this H2O? Here 2 into 2, that is 4, plus 16 into 2, 32. It is also 36 gram. Means in a reactant or product, the masses of the reactant is equal to masses of the product. That means there is a no loss of the mass or matter in a chemical reaction. This is called a conservation of the mass. Means mass can neither be reacted nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction, or in a chemical reaction the mass of the reactant is equal to mass of the product. So this is the first law of conservation of the mass. Now second law, law of definite proportion. As law itself say, that is a definite proportion. Suppose any compound is made of a number of elements. For example, cupric carbonate and CuCO3. Okay, it is called cupric carbonate. This is a compound which is made of copper, carbon and oxygen. So in this compound, the masses of the elements and their proportion by mass are same, whatever the source of that compound. Means law of definite proportion says that the proportion of the element by mass in that compound, irrespective of its source, is always same. The proportion of that element by mass will be always same, whether that compound is synthetic or natural. For example, we have taken this compound CuCO3, that is a copper carbonate, and one copper carbonate CuCO3, one copper carbonate where copper is 63.5, atomic mass of copper is 63.5, plus atomic mass of carbon is 12, plus oxygen 16 into 3, that is 48. So total will be the molar mass of this CuCO, that is 123.5. Okay, it will be the molar mass. Now we have to calculate the proportion of that element by mass. So proportion of carbon, so proportion of copper, we will say copper ka proportion, that is proportion of copper will be total, that is 123 individual 63 divided by 123 into 100, 2 here 100. Okay, so whatever you will get, that will be the proportion of the copper. Now proportion of the carbon, that means individual, that is 12 divided by 123.5 into 100. So whatever we will get, that will be the proportion of the carbon. So in this way, whether the any component is synthetic or natural, the proportion of the element by mass will be always same. Another example, simple example I will take, that is water. Suppose I take water example. Total molecular mass of this is 16 plus 2, 18 gram. Okay, and hydrogen will be 2 gram, oxygen will be 60 grams. So what is the proportion of this oxygen? It will be 16 divided by 18 into 100. This will be the proportion of the oxygen, and proportion of the hydrogen will be 2 divided by 18 into 100. We are taking it by mass. So this proportion will be always same when whatever the source of the water, whether it is from South Africa or it is from underground water from India or from America, this percentage will always be same by mass. It will not change. So that's why this law is called definite proportion. If that percentage are changing, that means that compound is not the same compound, that will be another compound. Okay, because in the given compound, the proportion of the element by mass should always remain same. This is the second law of definite proportion. Now third law is law of multiple proportion, and this law is given by Dalton. This law states that whereas the elements forms two or more compounds, the ratio of the masses of the elements that is combining with the fixed mass of the another elements will always bear a simple whole number ratio. For example, we have two examples, that is, one is we will get two compounds, one is we will take H2O, one compound we will take H2O and another compound we will take H2O2. One compound is water, another compound is hydrogen peroxide. Now there are two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. Now these two elements combine to form two compounds. One is water and another is hydrogen peroxide. Ratio of the masses of the element. Suppose we will take this oxygen element. Okay. This oxygen element, ratio of the mass of this oxygen elements combining with the fixed mass of this hydrogen will always bear a simple ratio of whole numbers. Now we will decide here now what is the mass of this oxygen in this water, that is 16. Okay. And mass of this H2 is equal to 2 gram. It is 16 gram and here it is a 2 gram. In H2A2 oxygen is a 16 into 2, that is 32 gram. 32 gram. And hydrogen mass is again 2 gram. Hydrogen mass is 2 gram. Now you see H2 constant, that is 2G means one mass of the hydrogen is constant. We have kept it constant. Now another element, oxygen, reacting with the equal masses of the hydrogen. That means 16 mass of hydrogen will react with 2 gram of hydrogen. 32 gram of oxygen will react with the 2 gram of hydrogen. This is fixed. This is fixed. Now this 16 and 32. The ratio of the masses of the element combined with the fixed mass of the another element, that is hydrogen. So this will be, suppose this is a 16 gram and this is a 32 gram. It will be 1/2. Simple whole number ratio. So that's why it is called a law of multiple proportion, because whenever there is a elements that is combining to form more than two compounds, then the ratio of the elements that is combining with the fixed mass of the another elements will be a simple whole number ratio. So in this way, in this example, oxygen is reacting with the fixed mass of hydrogen, that is 2 gram, and masses of the oxygen, that is 16, and mass in this case 32, it will bear a 1/2. So ratio is 1/2, that is a simple whole number ratio. This is called multiple proportion ratio. Now the fourth lies law of gaseous volume. It is given by Gay-Lussac. It states that in a chemical reaction, whether there is a formation of the gases or the combination of the gases, they combine or form in a simple ratio by volume, provided they all are in the same temperature and pressure. That means volume ratio will always be simple. For example, I am taking simple example of this only. Means here 2H2 gas plus O2 gas gives 2H2O. Suppose this all in gaseous form. Okay. Now when these two gases are reacting in this reaction in terms of volume, the ratio of the volume will always be a simple ratio, provided temperature and pressure should be constant. Here stoichiometric coefficient is 2. That means 2 volume of hydrogen plus 1 volume of oxygen gives 2 volume of H2O. Suppose this is a 2 mole, this is a 1 mole, this is a 2 mole, this is a 1 mole, and this is a 2 mole. Okay. And at STP, suppose this reaction is carried out at, suppose this reaction is carried out at the STP, then what is the volume of H2? 2 moles of H2 at STP, that is 2 into 22.71. Okay, this will be volume liter in liter. Oxygen volume will be 22.71 and water volume will be 2 into 22.71. So 22.7 is always constant here. So we can take as a V. So 2V, 1V gives 2V. Now we will take a simple ratio, that is volume of hydrogen divided by volume of oxygen. Volume of hydrogen is 2V. This is volume of is 1V. So it will become a 2/1. So this is a simple ratio. This law is given by Gay-Lussac. Now fifth law is Avogadro law. This his work, Gay-Lussac works is again extended by Avogadro, and he given the law that is called Avogadro law. What Avogadro law says that equal volume of any gas will have equal number of molecules provided they all gases are in same temperature and pressure. The equal volume of the gases will have equal number of molecules when they are put in same temperature and pressure. For example, I take H2 gas and O2 gas. Okay, I have taken two gases, H2 and O2. Now at same temperature and pressure, both pressure and temperature are same. Now at same temperature and pressure, suppose it is at STP. Its volume will be 22.71. Okay, and oxygen volume will be 22.71. Now volume is same, temperature and pressure is same. So the number of particles, or you can say molecules of H2 and O2 will be same, and that will be the 1 mole. And 1 mole, in 1 mole the number of molecules is the Avogadro number. That is 6.023 into 10 raised to power 23 molecules of hydrogen and same molecules of oxygen. The number of molecules will be the same when volume is equal, and that volume is at same temperature and pressure. Okay, so this is called Avogadro law. So in this way we have completed all the 5 laws of chemical combination. Hope you have understood these laws of chemical combination. If not understood, then revise again and keep studying. Don't give any gap in your study, and study for become an employer, not an employee. Because when you become an employer, that time you will have freedom of time and freedom of money, and give job to the people. Study hard to become an employer. Thank you for watching my video, friends.